Hi there, it's Sarah Jo with Creative Muse Floral Design. Welcome to this installment of Tips. Today we're going to talk about how to and how not to hold your bouquet. Won't you join us? Let's jump right in. So here's a first look, a bride and a bridesmaid holding beautiful bouquets, but holding them far too low on their body. You'll notice that the bride's arms are almost completely extended, really kind of squishing into her body right here. And although we do see a beautiful focal front of this bouquet, it's simply just too low. Same thing for the bridesmaid. It's bringing attention to a part of your body that you probably do not want your guests and your photographer looking at on your wedding day. Let's take a look at the next one. Here we see the opposite, bouquets that are just being held too high. What happens when we pull our arms up like this is that we automatically start to shrug, which can make us appear nervous. It's also hiding the beautiful detail of your bodice, so we want to avoid holding our bouquet too high. Next look. So this is just a little bit too informal. Now it may be okay for casual photographs afterward, but in terms of walking down the aisle, having your guests and your groom and everybody see you for the first time and getting those first initial photographs, this angle, and especially this one, is just really too awkward and informal. Here's another look, just too informal. It's also drawing the eye away from the person holding it, and we don't get a really good look at the bouquet either. Once again, looks a little awkward. Now at first glance, these photos show placement that you might think, wow, this looks really good. This is actually great placement on the bride in terms of where the bouquet should be. You'll notice that her forearms are resting comfortably on her hips, and we do have that bouquet centered on her body. However, the bouquet is very vertical, pointing straight up and down, which means that your guest, your photographer, everyone looking at you is not getting the best shot of your bouquet. Over here we see this bridesmaid, another little no-no. We don't want to hold the bouquet at the very end of the stems here. So once again, going back here to this photo, the placement of the bride's hands is correct on this bouquet, not on this bouquet. Here's the sweet spot, ladies. This is where we want to be. Look at the bride. Her forearms resting comfortably on her hips, a very natural angle. We see the beautiful focal front of the bouquet just at the right place on her body. If you imagine your belly button being right at the center of that bouquet, that's right where you want to be. You can see the beautiful detail of the bodice of the dress. The placement is just perfect. Same thing for the bridesmaid over here. And it's totally up to you. I happen to really love when you hold your bouquet, especially a nice hand-tied bouquet, at a slight angle. There's no right or wrong, but this is certainly an option. And if you notice, she's holding this bouquet at about a 20 to 25 degree angle to the side. Either way, right or left, it doesn't matter. What we would notice if we looked at a side profile of this bride is that she is holding the bouquet like this, away from her body slightly, which allows people looking at her, including your photographer, to get a beautiful focal shot of the front and top of that bouquet. So let's take another look. This is where you want to be. We hope you've enjoyed this installment of tips, that you've learned something. Go ahead and share it, share the love, and have a wonderful wedding. Find Creative Muse Floral Design online at creativemusevt.com.